Doing this to help people at a time when the economy, we know things are changing right now. I don't know if you feel it when you see Microsoft laying off people and Salesforce and Bank of America, Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan, like it's happening. I didn't know what I was going through the first time. So when 2008 happened, I was 50 years old and I had been 20 years of working my butt off, man, saving money, doing all the right things, playing by the house rules, saving my money, planning for retirement. You had a retirement account, everything they tell you to do, paying off your debt and everything. And then when that thing happened, bro, it was like they just came in and started taking everything. When that happened, I was like, the next time this happens, because I couldn't do anything. Because when recessions happen, it provides tremendous opportunities. But I didn't have the courage to do it. And the reason I didn't have the courage is because I didn't have the strategy. I didn't know what to do. How most people live every day, unfortunately. I told my wife 12 years ago, and I said, man, next time this happens, I'm going to be ready. This time I'm ready. I want to help a lot of people make sure they don't get stuck in this thing. People are going to lose their jobs, and that's going to happen. Could be the biggest thing, greatest thing that ever happens to you, by the way. Just so everybody understands, like I start every day with zero. I start over every day. Every day I'm broke. So when people are like, oh yeah, you're good now, you got all this. I said, no, but I reboot to zero every day. It's one of my tricks. I go broke. Like I look at my financial statement every day, where things are, but I'm trying to get rid of that. I'm not trying to keep money. The system wants you to keep money. The banks say, hey, stay liquid, save your money, plan for retirement, have 3-month savings accounts. But all these are myths. These are not things that are good for people. You don't want money. Money makes you lazy. Money gives you this false sense of, okay, you're going to be all right because you saved 3 months of money. I want to get to the top of the food chain where I get to start making rules. He who has the goal makes the rule. And so I don't want a little money. I don't want a retirement account. I don't want my house paid for. I don't care about any of that stuff. I want to get rich. I want to create tremendous amounts of wealth, like me, my wife, my kids. And then once I'm like, okay, I can help more than that. I don't mean my neighborhood. People in my neighborhood can be helped, okay? They can be helped. They need help. And by the way, where I live, right down the street, they just don't know they need help. They're rich, but they're not wealthy. They're not helping anybody else, dude. They're just helping themselves. It's freaking terrible. It's a life of poverty to have your house paid for. It's a mental poverty. Like, oh, I got my house paid for. I got my 2 cars. My kids are going to private schools and I'm miserable because there's no purpose. Like I'm helping millions of people around the world. When people go to school, they go to high school, nobody's getting you ready to get in the top 1%. So what I would tell the kid is like, look, dude, your first target needs to be the top 1%. So most people don't even know how much money you need to earn to be in that club. In 2014, it was 400 grand. So it's getting away from. So, but that doesn't mean anything because if you guys know how to get there, you got to just go do the math. When I was growing up, you didn't have online. Dude, there's so many ways to make money today. It's unbelievable. It's not even that crazy to do that. It's just a math class, right? So let's say I want to do 876 and I'm broke and I don't know anything. I'm starting for zero, which is fine. It don't matter that you're broke as long as you hadn't quit. So if I take 876,000 divided by 365 days, I need to make $2,400 a day. Divided by 24 hours, $100 an hour, and I'm gold. I'm in the top 1% club. Now I start working out. What could I do? See, but in school, they don't teach you that. They teach you, hey, you need to learn a skill. I don't need a skill, bro. I need money. I want to get tied in with the bank. How do I do that? Well, I need people skills. I know that. I need to learn how to market. I need to learn how to monetize. I need to learn how to convert people. I need to learn how to follow up. I need to be persistent. But the first most important thing is the target. If a guy's happy, if your uncle that's having a barbecue this weekend is happy with his retirement account because he's a fireman, well, good for him. I can't spend time with you right now. You're going to rub off on me, bro. When you hang out with guys that are saying, no, that's not enough. You can do more. And I watch Elon. I spent an hour and a half with Elon the other night on a live call, and I'm just listening to him. I'm not talking. I didn't say one word the whole time. I had dinner with Warren Buffett about 9 months ago. He's telling me, I said, what do I need to watch out for? Never have a gun to your head. And that's his way of saying, don't take money from JP Morgan or Morgan Stanley, or don't take this easy money. Don't let them give you money because they put a time on that contract. So I never even thought about I can do this until I spent time with him. And when I spent time with him, I realized, oh, this is a normal dude, man. One day I was with him and he's like, hey man, what do you want from me? And I said, well, what I want from you is, I said, I mean, nothing really. He's like, yeah, you want something. I said, you know, if I had my wish list, I'd just see your bank statement. And he's like, what? I said, just your bank statement. I just want to see it. I was fascinated. What does his statement look like? $367 million at one account. And I was looking at this, I was like, dude, Schwab account, Merrill Lynch account. Like he had all these accounts, a Bank of America account with like 400 million. Like I was like, oh my God. It was like, it's real. Now, The second thing I thought about was, okay, I'm in the wrong space. My product lineup is wrong. I was on the right field, just the wrong position. Dude, your first target needs to be a 1% club. Second thing, that means you need to suffer until you get there. No cars, no bracelets, no watches, no glow, because you ain't gonna fool me with your shit. Guys like me, they don't care. Everybody's got to figure out. I had to figure out, okay, once I start making a little money, what do I do with the money? Everybody's saying, hey, there's only one place you can give it, to the bank. You got to send all this money over to this old white institution, this machine. This is a massive machine, man. Everybody knows everybody there. And they're all kind of sharing the chips around the table. It's a casino, and the house is the only winner there. If you ever felt like the system's rigged, guess what? It is. You can't just bitch about it being rigged. You got to figure, okay, I need to get on the house side of it. People making $68,000 a year and it costs them $80,000. They're behind $12,000 every year. That hurts. The reason nobody hears about it, the media doesn't talk about it, and the government doesn't talk about it, because if they did, the people would become so angry that they would go probably burn the White House down. It'd be a J6 every week. The school system is to keep those people out of the workplace. So the unemployment numbers are not bad. College is a damn business. Harvard has $58 billion in annuities that were funded by kids going to school from government loans that don't get paid back. Inflation hit colleges more than any other product. Food, water, housing, nothing inflated more than colleges. That's just to tell you guys how stacked the system is. I was doing an interview the other night on an NBC channel. The guy from RE/MAX, the president of RE/MAX, was talking about how a house is a good investment. I'm like, bro, Nick, how can you keep telling people this? It's one of the worst investments in the history of mankind. Now, people are going to say, like, oh, rent's expensive. Whole Foods is expensive. Like, the gym's expensive. Like, what's that got to do with it? Going to the hospital is expensive. You don't go buy a hospital just because a room's expensive. Because what happens in a house is, first of all, if you just do the math, so $576 is what you paid. Now you need 12% for broker fees. Let's say you keep the house 10 years. Okay. You need 10% in maintenance fees. It's 1% a year in maintenance fees. It's about 2% in property taxes every year. That's 20%. And it's probably 7% to the bank, so that's 70%. Total those up, it's 112%. So $576,000 home will have to be sold for $1.2 million in 10 years. You're not going to sell it for that. And you had to put $100,000 down to do this deal. The banks are going to tell you it's good. Why? Because the Bank of America made 70% on your deal. The brokers made 12%. The maintenance people made 10%. And property taxes, that's what you fund every year. Even when you pay your home off, you'll still have to pay this 2%. This will go on forever. So a house is just not a good investment when you compare it to stocks, even commodities. Rather than buying one house where you live, rent where you live, and take that $100,000 and go buy a piece of real estate where other people live. So you can keep accumulating these over here. Like, I love real estate. I own $4 billion worth of real estate. So I love it. I just don't need to own a home on the way up. I need to own assets that pay me on the way up. And once I have enough cash flow from the assets paying me, then if I want to go buy a house or a watch or a car, I buy it out of the passive income. If we can educate people, indoctrinate them in high school and then college, then we'll move them to the house program. They'll borrow money from the Bank of America. And then if they can get some money, more money, then they'll have a little retirement account that funds Wall Street. The biggest Ponzi scheme on planet Earth is government USA. It's a damn corporation. You got to get out of the matrix. I was flipping hamburgers when I was 17 years. I was a drug addict at 18. At 25, I had less money at 25 than I had when I was 12. I was going backwards, not forward. I had a college education. I had less money with a college education than I had when I had a high school education. I had zero respect for my community. No one wanted to be around me. Like, people stayed away from me. So I built all this from scratch. So all you guys out there, oh man, I got nothing. Yeah, welcome to my world. I truly want to help people. This is not about inspiration or motivation. Like, I've never needed motivation. I don't need anybody to motivate me. I don't need to jump up and down to get excited. Just show me the math and show me that. And then I'll take it from there and I'm going to figure it out just like you did.